2012 question 16. Which of the following combinations is or are correct? On the left-hand side, you have the object, and on the right, you have the corresponding corrosion prevention methods. Now let's look at the first one. Aluminum window frames and cathodic protection or cathodic protection. Is that true? For aluminum, we've only learned one, which is anodization. And in anodization, as we know, it is to thicken the aluminum oxide layer. It's that protective layer that could block oxygen and water from coming into contact with the metal aluminum. But this one, this cathodic protection, it's mainly for steel. This is mainly for steel. Let me write it down here. So option 1, as we know, is not correct. Now option 2, galvanized iron buckets. Now galvanized iron buckets, is it a type of sacrificial protection? Yep, it is, because as we know, in sacrificial protection, that is when we have the more reactive metal that sacrifices itself. And in this case, in galvanized iron buckets, it is zinc. The zinc metal will sacrifice itself, it will lose electrons, and so it would prevent iron from rusting in this case. So this definitely is true. Now let's look at the third one. Tin-plated iron cans for alloying. Now alloying, as we know, it's mainly for stainless steel, where you add like chromium and nickel to iron. So this is stainless steel. Whereas tin-plated iron can, basically the iron is coated, the surface of iron, so maybe I should say it's surface protection, it is coated with tin. So what the tin does, it's similar to what zinc does, is that it will sort of sacrifice itself. It will be rusted by itself. I mean, the tin would be, it would protect the iron from rusting. Now, how do these two actually? Maybe I'll write a note here. These two, they protect. How do they protect iron from being rusted? It's because they isolate oxygen. They isolate oxygen and water from iron. Okay, but the problem with the third one is, if in case, because tin is lower in the metal reactive series to iron, if tin is indeed, perhaps maybe the tin is damaged, then the rate of rusting would actually be even faster than if iron was not even protected. So we don't really consider this to be a sacrificial protection. There's also this sort of disadvantage to it. But yeah, the principle behind is that it can isolate oxygen and water, so prevent oxygen and water from coming into contact with iron. And these two, as we know, are essential for corrosion or rusting to occur. So option 3 here is wrong. The answer for this should be B.